Matcha green tea has become really popular in the recent years in the US and actually all over the world. So I'm really excited today because we're taking a deep matcha dive. We're going to be talking about health benefits of matcha, how to choose the best quality matcha. And I'll also be showing you how to make it in more of a traditional way, as well as how to make it if you don't own any of the matcha making tools. Okay, so let's jump right in because we have a lot to cover. So matcha isn't just the latest trend or a cool drink that looks good on Instagram. It's actually a drink that dates back almost 1,000 years, and there are many good reasons for why. Matcha is the only tea where you ingest the entire leaf without steeping it first. It's stone ground green tea leaves that have traditionally been used in Japanese tea ceremonies. Matcha has a really high concentration of chlorophyll, which is a natural detoxifier and a liver cleanser. It also contains high amounts of L-theanine, which is combined with caffeine, and that improves focus and has calming and relaxing properties at the same time. The caffeine in coffee, for example, hits really hard and fast, which can be a good thing if you're really tired and need to get a lot done. But unfortunately, with coffee often comes anxiety, and the intense burst of energy is followed by a crash. Matcha, on the other hand, gives you more of a clear and sustained energy release without the extreme ups and downs that normally you get with coffee. Matcha gives you a bit more caffeine than regular green tea, but because you're ingesting the entire leaf, you're also getting more benefits. There are quite a few studies that confirm that L-theanine can boost alpha brain waves that are associated with heightened states of awareness, very similar to when you meditate. And that helps you to stay sharp and focused. L-theanine also reduces anxiety and promotes states of deep relaxation. With this tea, you have a combination of stimulating and calming substances, which makes matcha very unique and unlike any other caffeinated drink out there. There are so many different kinds of green tea, but there are generally two main categories for matcha: culinary grade and ceremonial grade. In a nutshell, if you're going to be adding matcha to some of your recipes, maybe to smoothies, or you're going to bake with it, go with culinary. If you're looking to enjoy it in more of a traditional tea form, definitely go with the ceremonial grade. I always advocate for quality ingredients over quantity, but I think it's especially important when it comes to matcha. I've had many cups of matcha in my day, and I've yet to taste a cup that's better than what I make at home. And that's not to brag, I just really think that it comes down to having the best quality matcha. If you've had matcha before and didn't like it, maybe you found it too bitter or even fishy, chances are you've had culinary grade matcha, or maybe matcha that wasn't really fresh. So I highly encourage you to give it another shot and try ceremonial grade instead, and try making it at home. And that brings me to the next point: how to choose the best matcha. The best quality matcha comes from Japan, particularly two places, Uji and Kyoto. Please don't waste your money on matcha from China. The quality is not going to be the same. Even though it's believed that matcha tea originated close to 1,000 years ago in China, over the following centuries, all the techniques for refining and growing matcha were developed in Japan. When you get your matcha, first evaluate the color. Dull, olive, brownish, and mustardy hues usually indicate low chlorophyll content or oxidation. It might simply mean that your matcha is old and has been exposed to too much heat. Next thing you can do is to smell the powder. What you're looking for is grassy, fresh aroma with hints of sweetness and cream. Our last test is touch. When you rub it between your fingers, a good quality matcha has a fine and smooth feel to it. Its consistency should be similar to an eyeshadow and almost feel wet and creamy. It will also have a very vibrant, bright green color. Now, average quality matcha, on the other hand, will have more browny, yellowy hues and will be grainy to the touch. It may also be more clumpy and not dissolve in water, as well as the higher quality matcha. Okay, how do you store matcha? Once matcha is opened, store it in an airtight container that is protected from the light. You can keep it in the refrigerator or freezer, but once the matcha is opened, it's recommended to use it up within a few months for optimal health benefits and taste. Okay, now that you've learned about matcha, let's go ahead and make some. Heat your water to about 175 Fahrenheit or 80 Celsius. Make sure you don't use boiling water, as it will result in a drink that's too bitter. Sift 1 teaspoon of matcha into a cup using a small sifter. And by the way, don't forget to check out the description box below. I will be listing some of my favorite matcha brands as well as what I'm using today. Pour about 2 ounces or 60 milliliters of water over your matcha tea. Using your bamboo whisk, gently swipe in a zigzag motion until the tea is well combined. Now the moves need to be quick but light. You don't want to press too hard as it may damage the delicate bamboo whisk. You will know it's ready when the creamy froth is formed. In a traditional tea ceremony, you would sip this elixir just like this. In the world of matcha, this would be similar to espresso shot in terms of thickness and punch. You can also pour about 4 more ounces or 120 ml of warm water over the tea mixture and enjoy it as you would a warm cup of tea. And lastly, you can turn it into a latte, and that is my personal favorite way of enjoying this drink. I pour a few more ounces of homemade steamed coconut milk over the top and add half a teaspoon of raw manuka honey. And manuka honey is naturally antiviral and antibacterial, so the combination of all these ingredients is a nutritional powerhouse. Okay, so what if you don't have a whisk or a milk steamer? You can still make a delicious matcha latte. Just warm up your milk on a stovetop, add all ingredients into the blender, and voila, you have matcha latte. Alternatively, if you own a tiny frother, you can use it in place of a bamboo whisk as well. You could even froth your milk in a French press. Just add your milk of choice and pump it vigorously until you have desired consistency. Now, all that being said, my absolute favorite way to make it is with a bamboo whisk. Not only because it's beautiful and somewhat of a meditative process, but because it creates the creamiest, smoothest drink in my opinion. Let me know in the comments below if you've tried matcha before and what you thought about it. And if you're brand new here to this channel, don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell to stay notified. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time.